West Ham on the beach, Luton with it all to do. They are 3 points adrift with a worse goal difference than Nottingham Forest. So this game means everything. Rob Edwards has branded it a simply must-win game for the Hatters if they have any chance of securing Premier League survival in the last 2 weekends of the season. As I said, West Ham don't really care, to be honest, what happens. But look, that's okay. That's the situation that we are in. It's the match preview for West Ham versus Luton Town, the penultimate game of the Premier League season, our final home game, and it's the Gaffer's goodbye, as it was confirmed a few days ago that David Moyes will leave the club at the end of the season, and his goodbye will be presented to the London Stadium faithful tomorrow afternoon. Gary and Mike are joining me. How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah,
very good. Thanks, Jake.
Bit of sun today, hasn't it? I think it took everyone a little bit of blimmin' out.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Gary, sat out in the garden this afternoon, loving life.
Might have been. Playing with the dog.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Mike, yeah, it doesn't mean a great deal, does it, to be honest?
No, it doesn't, but it is David Moyes' last game, and I don't care what anyone says. He's had a decent 4.5 years. I know we've had to endure some not so entertaining football, but if you look at it, compared to many, recent years, before that, it's been an improvement, at least a bit of stabilisation, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, when we reflect on this era in 10, 20 years, it'll be fond memories. And look, those fond memories of that night in Pride will overshadow the bad times, which is good, which is good in the end. And look, I think if we've got any incentive tomorrow, the players have let Moyes down over the last few weeks. There's no doubt about that. He's been let down by people above him, and he's been let down by people below him in terms of the players as well. He's not been treated very well in the last few weeks, which is a shame, a big shame. He hasn't done anything wrong to David Sullivan, to anyone up there, and they left him in limbo for weeks, which was utterly unnecessary. We've now had the closure, we've had the official confirmation, and he'll get the send-off that he deserves tomorrow, Gary.
No, I fully agree with what you said, Jake. I think it's terrible how he's been treated. They did exactly the same to Moyes as they did with Sam Allardyce in let his contract run out. And I haven't compared the stats, but the second half of that season, we were safe at Christmas and they didn't invest and we just plummeted down the table. It's exactly the same now. Everybody knows he's been going. He's had no support from above. I feel sorry for him. And I agree with Jake. We'll look back on this period, 3 consecutive years in Europe, some fantastic nights. We should have beaten the unbeaten European champions in Leverkusen. We should have beaten them at home. We've had some fantastic experiences. We've won at Arsenal. We've beaten all the top teams at the London Stadium. We've had some good seasons. One bad season that we possibly could have got relegated, but we won the Conference League in that time. So I think he deserves a really good send-off from the fans. I think Mike's right. At the end, it got toxic. There's too many negatives. And we've let in far too many goals. You can't let in 5 goals on five occasions this season and a few more 4s. The game against Chelsea, I know you went, Jake, so you know better than I do, but it's just a complete embarrassment.
Yeah.
So the players owe a performance tomorrow, and I like Luton, I must admit, but we should give them a good hammering tomorrow, just to repay the fans for last week.
Yeah, Mike, look, at the end of the day, Luton have got it all to play for, and I think that will probably show to us. It'll be interesting to see how we cope with that, in terms of the players level.
Yeah, but there's players out there that are playing for their places for next season, aren't they? And they got to show the new guy, you know what I mean? He's watching every game. There's no doubt about that. He's watching every game. So they got to roll their sleeves up and go, I can do it. Let's show him what I can do, because, they ain't going to do it they got to do it for themselves, David Moyes, and to show the new guy that, what they can do. And they haven't done that. And Sunday, whatever it was against Chelsea, was just pathetic. Pathetic. Yeah. I mean, that was just a capitulation again, where they just some comical defending again, and they've got to be a whole lot better than that. David Moyes deserves them. They roll their sleeves out and have a proper go Yeah, Luton need to win it more than we do, but
Yeah.
come on, boys, roll your sleeves up and at least give it a flipping 100%.
Exactly.
And
I was going to say, Jake, one of Moyes' biggest faults, I think we all agree, has been the non-promotion of youth. Now, tomorrow, there's no excuse at all not to drop a bomb and play Casey, at least. No excuse at all. I'd like to see Earthy come in as well, but I don't think he will play both. But our defence has let in so many goals, and he can't possibly present an argument that puts on Bonner in, who's going to get released in the season ahead of Casey. It just makes zero sense. 0 cents tomorrow. So if he doesn't play, that'll be really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. To complete the trio, here he is. Nigel, how are you, mate?
I'm good. You?
Yeah,
All
not bad. Not bad. I got no idea what happened there. It's the exact.
I've been sitting backstage.
I know it's literally the
even
exact
hear
same link, and I've just sent it again, and it's worked. I've got no idea why. But Nigel, your initial thoughts on the beach West Ham tomorrow versus Luton?
What, on the Moyes thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he deserves a big send off myself. I know we moan and that, but that's the least the fans owe him really for what we've got over the last few years. That's my opinion.
Absolutely, fully agree.
Yeah, totally. For sure. Roy Keane earlier was talking about West Ham on some podcast that he does.
I heard it.
He branded the West Ham players embarrassing for the way they've sort of down tools over the last few weeks. I think Gary Neville agreed with him in that sense, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but it's been poor what they've done over the last few weeks. Big players have just not bothered. Lucas Paqueta, the most prominent one, unfortunately, and look, I can't see there being any change in that. I don't see why there'd be any change in that against Luton and Man City in the final 2 games, but it's been a little bit poor, Mike, hasn't it, really?
Well, if he wants to go to Man City, I mean, if Pep's been watching him the last few games, I don't think he'd be interested in him. He
wouldn't go anywhere near him. No.
He wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. He's been that bad. So maybe he's got to put in a couple of performances, and especially at Man City as well. He's got to show what he can do. But for me, I just don't see him fitting in that Man City team anyway. I really don't. Honestly, he's been a big problem. His drop-off, because let's face it, when he was playing top of his game, it lifted the whole team. He gave us something else. There's no doubt about it. The guy has got a lot of ability. There's no doubt about that. You don't play for Brazil unless you have. But the drop-off from him has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been terrible.
I fully agree, Mike. The problem is Moyes should drop him, but he ain't got the guts to do so. He doesn't deserve his place. I would drop him tomorrow and play Earthy. Just give the youngster a game. He's not trying. If you're not trying, then you don't play. Do you remember when he started? He started, if you don't run, you don't play. That was the first thing he said. Yeah. Paqueta swans around and just does nothing the last few weeks. So I would drop him, but I doubt that will happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been so poor. I think it started away at Bayer Leverkusen, to be honest with you. He had an absolute nightmare over there, and then he hasn't picked up any form ever since. And it just seems like there's no interest there from Paqueta, Nigel.
Nah, he's been awful. And you know what? I said this the other day. When we played Bayer Leverkusen at home, he wasn't playing. We moved the ball so much quicker, and it seems when he's on the pitch, he's the one that slows it all down because he put his foot on the ball, roll it a couple of times, look around, and try and pick out some outrageous pass, which most of the time doesn't work. We scream about it when it does work. We go, oh, look at that bit of skill. But the majority of the time, the passes go wayward. He gives the ball away in bad areas, and he just slows the ball down. I thought we played better without him. I honestly did. So I'll be happy if we moved him on and got good money for him, because like you say, I don't think we're going to get good money for him now the way he is.
Yeah, that's the concern here, because I think what you've all said is bang on. Is that Pep won't touch him with him barge pole the way he's been playing. He's everything that Pep stands against: an ego, being disinterested at times. I don't think Pat. I think we're all sort of putting all our bets and waiting for 85 million to come in. I can't see it happening, to be honest, and I think we might be stuck with him. Yeah, I just can't see it happening. But in terms of our opponents for tomorrow, they've got it all to do, and that should show, if we're totally honest. Rob Edwards has been pretty vocal in saying this is a must-win. It's obvious for them with the position that they're in. What have you made as a whole of Luton this season, Gary? They've huffed and puffed, but just lost by the odd goal mostly.
Yeah, I was going to say they've been quite unlucky. They were unlucky against us, to be honest, not to get a penalty. They were 3 up at Bournemouth and lost. They were 2 goals ahead at Newcastle and drew or lost. So they've thrown away a lot of points. But if I was Rob Edwards tomorrow, if he went down the Premier League and picked a fixture, he'd probably go to West Ham at the moment. So I think he probably fancies his chances, because we've shown no form at all. We've won 1 home game this year, in the league. So we're just terrible at home. And what have we got to play for? So we need to really show some motivation tomorrow, or we'll get turned over. Because I can't think of a fixture Rob Edwards would choose above West Ham at the moment.
True. I was branding it sort of unlucky with Luton until they surrendered a 3-goal lead against Bournemouth, and I think that's unforgivable. You're 3-0 up at Bournemouth, and to lose 4-3, you just can't do that. You know, you can't do that and expect to compete. That's when I sort of went, maybe not, if I'm honest, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, the first game against them, we were away, weren't we, on that Friday night? Their first game at home. And
it was written in the stars, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. But to be fair, we dominated the ball in that game. Absolutely. How many times this year have we actually dominated the ball for, say, a long period of the game? Not many. You're right, Gary. We were a little bit lucky to win that in the end, because they come back and they scored at the end. But, you know, I've watched them in a few games and I thought, well, at least they got a style of play which is you know, they know what they're doing. Edwards has got them all together playing to a certain style, and it seemed to have, you know, got the most out of what he could out of them. But I still don't think it's good enough. We'll see, but I don't think it'd be good enough to keep them up.
No, I don't think so. Let's see some comments. Let's take some comments and see who's joining us. Usual suspect. I hope you're well. Fresh Fielder, Curtis, Larry. Hope you're all well. Give Moyes a nice and respectful send-off, which I think will happen. George says, so West Ham only drinks claret squash. Exactly. You know, I can't drink that orange crap. Talking of drinks, it's the first time. There we go. Look. Talking of drinks, it's the first time we've been together as a Fab Four collectively for a while, and I've got an update. Right, and I think Nigel knows where this is going. So I saw Nigel at Selhurst Park. What was it at now? 3 weeks ago. We won't talk about the day, but to the men on that side, I always get them mixed up. To the complete and utter amazement of Nigel. Nigel, what happened before the game?
I can't remember.
Do you want a picture?
Oh, that's me with a beer.
Who bought the beer?
You bought a beer, yeah. Jake bought a beer, yeah. I should have remembered that, really, shouldn't I?
Come on, Nigel, you should have remembered that, yeah.
Jake, why are you showing a picture of Nigel holding a beer? There's no evidence of you buying it or giving it to him.
No, he did. I've got to say, he did actually buy that, and I needed it actually at the end, halfway through the game. To be fair,
well, yeah.
Jake, you just made me laugh actually, because you just said something. You said, you know, you was all, you know, thinking about Luton, and then they surrendered a 3-goal lead, and you thought, nah, because, you know, we wouldn't go up to St James's Park.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Exactly.
That was a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, but I know it's just like,
yeah, we let in 3 goals in the last 20 minutes, Jake.
They're a very, very hard-working team. They've become,
and
we don't do well against them sort of teams. Them hard-working teams like Brentford and things like that. Right, we don't do hard. Well, we don't do well against them hard teams. You know what I mean? The teams that work hard and do the simple things. And we always seem to get cut open down the left. And if you watch Luton, they're hard work, and that Doughty, he gets down the left all the time. And, you know, our defence has been absolutely dreadful. And do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we get turned over.
No, we're not on it. We will.
On the other end, I wouldn't be surprised if Paqueta pulls his finger out tomorrow, and they all have Worldlies. So
3 or 4-0. Yeah, well, it could go.
That's the sort of thing that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it could go either way. And what makes it even worse is, Mike, you'd have had a pint, but I heard from unconfirmed reports, I can't disclose who from, that you were at the chip shop before you went to Selhurst Park. I heard that you went to the chip shop.
That's right. We did.
So you surrendered a pint to go to the chip shop. What did you get from the chip shop? Oh, I don't know now.
I had a pint before the chips.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but was it free?
What, the pint?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't free. Someone bought it.
Not you.
Someone bought it for me. Yeah.
Oh, right. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Gary, your reaction to that?
No, I've just seen Kylian Mbappe's leaving PSG, so we can get him on a free, I think.
Oh, brilliant.
Loppy, you know him, surely, won't he?
Sign him up. Sign him up.
We never sign anyone who's half decent. Look at Zaha. We always get them when they're old and past it. Always. It's a West Ham thing.
If you're as old
got
as me,
Nasri,
you
didn't we, when he was
remember.
about 50.
You remember? No, you won't know because none of you are as old as me. A bloke called John Radford.
I remember John Radford.
I remember John Radford.
Yeah. At Arsenal, he scored goals galore, right?
He didn't score a goal for us, did he?
You know, we picked him up and he never scored a goal for us.
Just for the record, I can't remember him.
Absolute disaster.
He's got Ward Prowse. Bought him for free kicks. He's not scored a single free kick all season.
And the thing about Radford as well, Mike, he got sold to Blackburn and scored on his debut for Blackburn.
He did, yeah.
Oh dear. The West Ham way.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse hasn't even looked like scoring from a free kick, has he?
Oh, mate.
I think he had one, was it, against Man City at home, up our end. I think he had one that went slightly close, but I mean,
well, one last week at Chelsea was his first shot on target, wasn't it?
Yeah. He
Oh,
actually
To be
made
fair,
the
though,
work.
we haven't gotten that many free kicks for him to score because we don't get up the pitch that far very often.
And Antonio can get chucked about always and not get a free kick. So really, I think, it just doesn't work, does it? But look, Adrian says Paqueta hasn't been the same since he came back from his second injury, a summer off, and he will be back to himself. His work rate has dropped. He was making 8+ tackles a game at the start of the season. Let's scroll down here. Spot on. Paqueta isn't a real team player. If he was, he would continue to play hard, doing it in the hard times. So here he is, Dodsy. Hello, mate. You're right. Don't forget the San Miguel tomorrow, Mike. You know your job. There's plenty in there. He bought a big crate last week when we went to the blooming Chelsea. He hadn't drunk all that already, surely.
Don't worry, I'll be loaded up, Rich.
Loaded up. Oh dear, brilliant. Right, let's see exactly. Jake's been poorly ever since. I've been rough as hell the last few days, and it's just my bank balance has begun to recover from the pint that I had to buy. I didn't have to buy the pint that I bought at Selhurst Park.
Oh dear.
Troy says you've got to be tight if you take a photo of the ones you buy. No, because I needed evidence for this exact situation. I needed evidence for this exact situation.
That's a true statement if I ever heard one.
Yeah, we'll have to frame that picture.
Yeah, I still haven't had one.
Well, if you don't turn up, then you aren't going to have one, are you?
You can't pick an away game. I'm not out and say, have a drink, Nigel.
Well, I thought I'm going to take this opportunity.
I bought the glass home. I put it on the wall with all my shirts.
Oh, dear. I thought this was going to help, but you're still taking the mick just as much.
I actually drove past your house the other day, Jake.
Did you?
Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah, we went past. We went past. What we done was we went to buy a dog in Plymouth, and so we drove down and we decided our friends their kids got ill, got the lurgy, so we couldn't. We said we're not going to stay there. We're going to come back. And what we done was we saw this thing on television about this big tower. It was on some drama documentary, and we thought that it was near your house.
What's the tower called?
It's called King Alfred's Tower.
King Alfred's Tower. So about 2 miles that way.
Yeah, so we went to look at it, and it was the wrong one.
It is right in the knowledge.
I'll tell you what.
We went out of our way for nothing. It was the wrong one.
You're telling me you were 2 miles. I tell you what, you're telling me you're 2 miles from my house, like 5 miles from Mike's house. You didn't even bother to come and say hello.
I did think about Mike's. I went past Wincanton.
Wincanton, yeah.
But yeah, I was getting a shifty on because I had to come there and back at Plymouth and back in the same day, and it was long.
That's long. Christ.
Oh.
Hey ho, there we go. Well, we know we're not worth that much, Mike, don't we? Obviously, not that much hassle. He can go and see a tower, but he can't come and see us, you know. Footballer Brownie, hope you are well. It's taken Moyes 2 years to get Nathan Naif name correct in the press conference. He thought he'd get it right for the last one. Very good. Very good. Trudge says the only record James Ward-Prowse is going to get is for free kicks missed in a row. I thought John Radford was a good signing at the time. I can't offer any expert punditry input for that because
a bit like Phillips, I suppose. Really, it's exactly the same.
Oh God. He couldn't hit a barn door, his usual suspect.
Who's Phillips?
Yeah, who is Phillips? Jake's buying at Man City when we go 2 up. What? 2 miles up the motorway because we ain't scoring 2 goals.
Can you
Well,
imagine?
good enough at City, actually. I think everyone's going to go, aren't they?
Yeah. We're in the upper tier right at the back, so we're going to have fun.
I'm not actually sure, I can tell you right now because I've got one ticket.
Go on then, you have a look.
I am.
I'll tell you what, that could be painful, that result.
No, we are going to celebrate their goals for them, do the pass now and everything. I can't wait. Anything to stop Arsenal winning the league.
Oh, ain't that just the truth, eh?
What are you, Nigel? Level 1, 2, or 3?
I'm just going to tell you. Oh,
got
level 3.
Yeah, same as us.
Yeah, block 314.
Row.
Oh,
we're row Z, so you're a few in front of us.
come on, mate. Will you even be able to see from there?
Well, no, because it goes up to row HH. I've done my research, so we're not going to be right at the back. We're going to be quite near the back, but not right at the back.
It's not bad as Newcastle, Jake.
Snowed. Actually, I was quite glad when we went to that game and it snowed. I was quite glad to be up the back. One of the poor buggers down the front who must have been not Frosty the Snowman.
We were at the top.
All of them were walking in the air.
Yeah. Mike, I stood next to your heart's cold that day, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. So somebody was still wearing shorts, weren't they?
Yeah. His dad, I still had the shorts on.
I saw that bloke in the car park in the shorts.
I was like an Eskimo. I remember.
It was Christmas, wasn't it? They had a Christmas market at the time, I remember.
Me and Mike and Man City, we were stood there with our big coats on. And Dad stood
I think everyone was everyone was like really chuffed because Tottenham had gone all the way to Burnley. And it got
they got called off, didn't it?
Yeah. We are block 313 rows, Ed. So you're obviously 1 block away and you're a few rows. So I'll be able to wave to you.
Yeah, start a Mexican wave. There you go.
Yeah, start a Mexican wave. Yeah. Right, let's do predictions before voice gives in, shall we? I don't even care. Whoever can go first, I don't care.
I don't care about the result, to be fair.
Neither do I, so that's why I said it.
Actually, I'm done for the season.
Are you? Okay, fair enough.
Pretty much so.
It could be absolutely anything. We could lose 3-0. We could win 3-0. To predict this is just so difficult. Yeah, because, I mean, to be totally honest, if Luton are right up for it and we're not, I could see us on the end of a hiding.
Yeah, I can as well. Like I said earlier, the only thing I want is for him to play Casey and Earthy or some youngsters rather than pick the old guard. That's what I'd like to see. Yeah. I don't really care about the result, to be fair.
Yeah, it is the perfect opportunity, as you said, Gary, to bring in some youth players, to bring in some players that wouldn't necessarily get game time in a normal end of season scenario. We've got absolutely zilch to play for. Nothing, not at all. We're the definition of on the beach. So give these players a go, for goodness sake. So has anybody got a prediction, or is it just I don't care?
I'm going to say we're going to win 2-1, only because the last 2 games I've said we were going to get hammered, and we did. So I'm just going to say that we're going to win 2-1.
Fair enough. This could be 3-0 West Ham or 3-0 Luton, really, because we could just pop up with a brilliant performance to send Moyes off and cap off the season at home, or we could just carry on what we've been for the last few months, utter crap. And Luton could turn up full of fight, full of energy, and turn us over quite comfortably. It could be one extreme or the other. Mike, did you give your prediction?
Well, actually, I just remember I'm taking my grandson, and he hasn't seen us lose yet, so he's a lucky omen. So I reckon we'll win 3-2.
3-2. Well, make sure you tone down the swearing then if you're taking your grandson, right? Because it's just vile sometimes.
What, me? Nah,
Exactly.
Someone else, Jake.
No, I don't think I am. Gary, a prediction?
I think we'll do the same as I did against Bristol City and Burnley and draw. So 1-1.
And Sheffield United.
That was away, so at home.
Oh yeah, true.
So and Bournemouth, we drew 1-1. So I think we're going to draw, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. 3-0 either way is what I'm going to say. Just to have a laugh. Usual suspect, 5-5. Two terrible defences.
Imagine that.
This would be worth watching.
Exactly. At least it'd be worth the money. 2-1, 2-1. I think there might be 10 goals at the Etihad next week, but I don't think it'll be quite as even.
Do you think there's any team in the league that's so different? I mean, our performance against Leverkusen at home was probably the best I've seen in years.
Yeah.
But then we're so bad sometimes as well. It's just the difference is just unbelievable. We could beat the best in the world almost.
That's how we've always been.
And then we could lose to a conference team against what we played last week. It's just terrible.
Bristol City, we've had some shockers this season. Do you know what? On Saturday at Chelsea, right? When they scored the third goal, I went down to the concourse, and everyone I knew was there. Right?
Really?
Everyone was there having a beer. They weren't even watching the game, just having a chat. And then I said, "Well," they said, "Are you going to go back up half time?" And I went, "I'll go back half time because if they score a goal, I'm just going to go." Literally,
they scored in the 47th minute.
Finished up my pint, walked up the steps, turned round, and they scored. So I just went, and my mate said, "Let's go to Earl's Court and have a beer," and that's what we did, because I was like, I ain't watching this. It looked like they was going to. It looked like they was going to beat us 10-0, mate. Honestly, we was that bad.
But no, there can't be any other team in the league so different. When we're good, we're really, really good, aren't we? But when we're bad, we're so bad.
It's so exciting when we play football. We tear teams apart and we look really, really good. People go, "Oh, West Ham are a good side. Look at their players, Paqueta, Bowen, all that amazing team, Kudos and all that." And then we're absolute dross the next game, and we look like a Sunday league team.
I know, I've never seen anything like it. It's just you literally don't know who's going to turn up. We could beat anyone and just get hammered. We can play Yeovil away and lose. Even Wincanton would probably beat us. We're playing badly.
I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it and we're a Premier League team. It shouldn't be happening. We're the only team that can do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe we should be happy that we've got such an inconsistent team.
but then again,
different type of football every week.
David Moyes' teams didn't normally get stuffed. They'd lose 2-1 or 1-0.
But what he does is win, Mike. That's the thing. He just wins.
But mate, that's like that 5 times we've conceded over 5.
Yeah.
He probably wins down the bookies.
5 times conceding over 5.
Yeah, Chelsea, Palace, Fulham, Liverpool, Arsenal.
That and still sort of we won't. I said, didn't I? That we'll probably end up at 11th, 9th, 10th, or 11th, and I think 11th looks probably odds on.
Even teams like Sheffield United don't get whacked like that every week.
No, that's right. I mean, they've had
They're
a couple
bottom
of
of the league.
But I mean, Luton don't, do they? That is.
No. I mean, this is statistically the worst ever season Premier League wise for conceding goals.
We've conceded more goals than we did under Avram Grant this season, for goodness sake. But let's just be careful what we wish for, all right?
Exactly.
That's the main thing. But thank you very much indeed for watching this match preview. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. I opted against paying a lot of money and going to London tomorrow. So I'm going to sit in the comfort of my own home, maybe watch it.
Have you got a ticket, Jake?
Maybe not. I don't.
Have you got a ticket? I've got one if you want one.
Oh.
I've got one.
I can't be bothered. Nigel, sorry, mate. I can't be bothered.
I have got one.
No, that's right. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. I'm going to sit in the comfort of my own home, hopefully fully recover from the man flu, which is just always worse than any other flu. We all know that, don't we?
I'm just laughing because we typical West Ham lose 3-0 at home and Moyes walks around an empty stadium to say farewell.
What'll happen is we're turning the best performance of the season, like and Jake won't be there.
But that's the whole thing, nice. We could win 6-0, we could lose 3-0. We've got no idea.
It could be literally anything. But
it's lottery, isn't it? It's like the West Ham lottery every week.
It literally is. Literally is.
But look, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I will tune in behind some cushions tomorrow to see how things pan out. Have a fantastic day in the sun. Are you all going tomorrow? I expect you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All going.
Jolly good. Jolly good. Nigel, I'll see you at Man City in level 3 up in the gods.
That's right. Take
not
me glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
That, what a look. What a look.
Honestly,
like...
I had to go on.
You look like the bloke off the Pringles jar.
Everybody
I've heard
said that.
I've heard many times. I've heard that. I've heard Colonel Sanders. Windsor Davis.
Yeah. Beautiful boy.
Charles Bronson's granddad.
Do your deepest voice, Nigel.
What old chap? Absolutely.
Windsor Davis had the deep voice, didn't he?
Windsor Davis, yeah, you lovely boy.
You lovely boy. What do you think you're
I had
doing?
to walk around South London with that, Tash, for goodness sake. I had to walk around South London with it, honestly.
Listen, there's something funny. I was walking, we got this a little Italian greyhound pup, right? So we're walking down the road, me and Una yesterday, and these two schoolgirls walked towards us. And one of them pointed and then burst out, started laughing, and Una pointed out to me that they were actually, I had a paisley shirt on and this moustache, and that's what they was laughing at, and not the dog.
The epitome of embarrassment.
It's like they'd seen some weirdo freak or something.
I love the way you get married, Nigel. Think about it.
Yeah.
But I think
I love it
today. What we've learnt today is that Jake is capable of buying a drink.
Look at that.
Yeah. That's not proper evidence.
He did go to me. How much of those pints of beer?
I did not say that.
That's what you said.
Excuse me.
How much are they first?
Yes. Excuse me, bar person. I have a £5 note. Is that enough for a beer?
No, because I bought a hot chocolate as well, and it was card only. Exactly.
Should have seen him blowing his card.
No wonder you did well, mate, on the way home.
I have 10 of these green pound notes. Are they still legal tender?
He kept on hinting about that, about getting one back at some point, or something of the same monetary value.
I can't win. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. If this is the final time that we're all together this season, thank you very much indeed. I tried to not cough midway through that, but we'll get through it. Thank you very much indeed, Gary, Mike, and Nigel. Have a lovely afternoon tomorrow, and hopefully we win. That doesn't really matter either way. Nigel, I'll see you at Man City. The other two plastics won't be bothered to turn up at Man City. They don't do the real thing.
I'm away, mate. I'm in Torquay.
Ooh.
Torquay. The English Riviera.
I'm in the English Riviera for that.
Gary, what's your excuse? Washing the air that day?
Because it's Man City away.
Yeah, true.
Good enough excuse.
Valid.
That's all I need to say.
And it's not me with the 5-goal curse either.
Yeah,
shut up. And it's not me either, because I've been to about 20 games this season and I've only seen us concede 5 goals twice.
Cool, mate. And he calls you to a couple of plastics.
I've seen 5 goals twice as well.
Yeah. But Nigel's seen it 5 times because he's been to all of them. So no, actually, I take it back. I was at Liverpool. I've seen 3. So
you can tell how many games I've been to, how grey my hair has got. Even one's not is white.
Jolly good. Right, from us, come on, you Lions, and we will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
See you later.
Good night, guys.